Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. The date is Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. This is a regular meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. We continue to deal with the health emergency, so we are holding these meetings both virtually and in person. So whether you're joining us by way of WebEx teleconferencing format or by the web, we thank you for your participation. For those interested on giving comments that are during unscheduled, please use the raise your hand feature if you're online. And hopefully you've made arrangements with the clerk if you are on the telephone. Members of the audience who have filled out speakers cards will be taken in the order they're received by the clerk. And we want to thank everyone for participating in the unscheduled appearances if you have any comments. Each vote today will be verbal or voice vote so that members of the public can hear how each board member has voted. After we've had a discussion, a motion, and a second, the item will be taken up. There'll be a roll call by district. So in order to establish a quorum, I'm going to ask the clerk now to please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Here.
Richard Valley,
Here.
Doug Verboon,
Here.
Craig Peterson.
For the last time.
I know, that's why I had a pause. I apologize. Richard Fagundes.
Here. Let the record show all 5 members present. Thank you very much. Now, if we can invite Pastor Arthur Fox of New Hope Orthodox Presbyterian Church forward to deliver the invocation.
Before I begin, I want to thank Mr. Pedersen for his service. And I bring Christmas greetings to New Hope Orthodox Presbyterian Church and my family. May the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you in the coming year. Let's pray. Well, first I'm going to read the scriptures. From Isaiah chapter 9, beginning at verse 6, I believe it is. Yes, for to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace, there will be no end on the throne of David and over his kingdom to establish it and uphold it with justice and righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. Let's pray. Almighty God and Father, we thank you for the Lord Jesus Christ, born so many years ago, who continues to pray for his people, who rules this world. And we thank you for these men who faithfully have served so many years here in this community. We ask our God that your blessing would rest upon them, that you give them guidance, that you'd help us, O Lord, to deal with these tumultuous times that we live in, that you guide us by your word, and help us to remember to worship you each Sunday. Grant guidance to this board as they make their decisions, and bless their deliberations. And grant, O God, that we might all sense your presence with us this coming weekend. Keep us safe, O Lord, and please help the people who suffered through the earthquake last night up north. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Fox. Now, Supervisor Peterson, will you join us? Will you please lead the Pledge of Allegiance? Very good. Ready? Salute.
And to the republic, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is unscheduled appearances. Any person may directly address the board at this time on any item on the agenda or any item within the subject matter jurisdiction of this board. Speakers will be limited to 2 minutes. Does the clerk have a record of any unscheduled comments?
I do not have any written correspondence, but the first speaker card is Rusty Robinson.
Good morning.
Mr. Chairman, Board of Supervisors, it is truly an honor for the opportunity to express my gratitude to you, Supervisor Peterson, for your exemplary service as Kings County Supervisor. Your work ethic and the dignity with which you have held this office does not go unnoticed. The citizens of District 4 will miss you greatly. They tell me so. Your guidance and kind words have been instrumental to me in my success. Your sincerity and thoughtful questions will be missed. And Supervisor Verboen may go into deep depression. This transition is seamless because of you and your professionalism. Thank you. You've set the bar high.
How much did he pay you to say that?
The question is, how much did I pay him to take this?
Ah, finance his campaign.
And I'm really not involved in this.
Au contraire.
Right. The next speaker card is Heather Silva.
Morning, Heather.
Chairman, members of the board, Heather Silva with Public Health. I wanted to come up this morning and highlight a program event we did last week for some of the elementary schools in Kings County. In July of 2021, your board approved the Safe Schools funding in the amount of $150,000 for our department to assist with the safe school reopening during the pandemic, support health and safety measures, health education, and community engagement with schools in Kings County. We were coming to the end of our grant term, and we had enough funds to purchase 165 laptops to give back to the community. So we reached out to all 12 school districts. We had 4 applications from 4 different schools, 1 in District 1, Stratford Elementary, and 3 in District 2, Kettleman City Elementary, Avenel, and Martin Luther King Jr. And so I want to ask Nicholas Montoya, our program manager, to come up to kind of give some numbers for you guys. It was his program and his event that he put on.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. So Stratford received 43 laptops, Kettleman Elementary received 44, Avenel received 38, and Martin Luther King received 40. These children were the most needy, so most of the county falls in the bottom 50% of the HPI. We used the bottom 7%. We reached out to all the schools in the bottom 7%. 4 of the schools applied, and those students received laptops. And the faces on these children was priceless. I mean, and the remarks where it was like, are we going to be able to keep these? Do we get it? We don't have to take it back. It doesn't have to go home. One of the children stated, I could use this for my history project, right? And I could use it to type up a paper. And yes, that's exactly what it's for. And so we were able to provide these additional resources to those that are most in need, and it took working with the state and, and going through the grant and putting away the funding. But it was nice for the department to be able to give back in addition to, all the other services we continue to do.
Appreciate it. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Thanks, Heather.
That's all the speaker cards that I have, and it doesn't appear anyone online has their hand raised.
Okay, last call. Anyone in chambers? Rebecca?
I'm just saying I wish.
She
Ah.
said she wishes.
Oh, yeah. You'll have to write it down and send a letter.
You want a Christmas list? He said?
All right, we're going to close out the unscheduled appearances and move on to the first action. Well, we won't have a first action item. We'll have a report out on closed session. Diane, do you have a report out?
The county took no reportable action.
Very good. Now we'll move to the first action item of the day, and that's the discussion on the minutes from the meeting held on December 13th. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
There are no question or comments. Move for approval.
I'll second.
Moved by Fagunda, seconded by Verboen. Additional comments? Hearing or seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes.
Craig Peterson,
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show the minutes stand approved, 5 in favor. Thank you very much. The next item is the consent calendar, and all items under the consent calendar are considered to be routine, will be acted by one motion at the request of any board member. Any item may be removed and made part of the regular agenda. Has the board had an opportunity to review the consent calendar?
I request that Supervisor Peterson reads them all.
Oh.
It's not my job, but I will make the motion to approve.
Aye. Moved by Peterson, seconded by Verboen. Discussion? Hearing or seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes. Yes.
Craig Peterson,
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Let the record show the item stands approved, 5 in favor. Thank you very much. Moving to the regular agenda items. First item comes from Department of Finance regarding the request to sell tax defaulted properties. And I don't see Jim, but who's going to do it? Megan, you got the duty. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I'm Megan Campbell, Treasury Manager with the Department of Finance. I'm here today requesting approval of the annual tax sale. Properties become subject to tax sale if they have been declared tax defaulted for 5 years or longer. Tax defaulted properties are subject to the power of sale by the tax collector in accordance with the California Revenue and Taxation Code 3691 for non-payment of delinquent taxes. In order to reduce the amount of properties going to sale, the tax collector's office sends out delinquent notices twice a year, publishes them in the newspaper, and sends out multiple letters notifying the owners that the property will be sold at auction. Prior to the tax sale auction in March, each property will receive an in-person notification of pending tax sale. The tax collector intends to sell the properties at a public auction as allowed under Revenue and Taxation Code 3692.2 for at least the minimum bid listed. The minimum bid for auction properties is set so that the county recovers the cost of the sale and can pay the outstanding delinquent taxes levied against the sold properties. To redeem a property going to tax sale, final payment can be made anytime before the close of business on the last business day prior to the date the property is to be sold at auction. This year will be March 8th. The sale is scheduled to begin on March 9th, 2023 and end on March 14th, 2023. For any property that does not sell, we ask your approval to reoffer the property at the next scheduled sale for the newly calculated minimum bid. We are currently negotiating a new contract with GovEase, who provides internet auction services. GovEase will save a significant amount of money for our taxpayers, and we look forward to working with them. The contract is in final review, and we hope to have it in place in time for the March tax sale. If that is not possible, we will continue to use Bid for Assets for the 2023 online auction and then transition to GovEase in 2024. Your consideration for approval of the request to sell tax defaulted properties is respectfully requested.
Thank you, Megan. Good job. Any questions or comments? Anybody recognize any names?
I'm not on there, so I'm good.
Oh, you're good?
Yeah. If there's no question or comments, I'll move to approve as presented for request to sell tax default properties and reduce minimum price and approve reoffer.
Second.
Moved by Verboen, seconded by Peterson. Thank you very much. Additional discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes.
Craig Peterson,
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show the item stands approved, 5 in favor. Thank you, Megan. Good job. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Mary Kristen.
Next item comes from Public Works regarding adopting resolution for a summary vacation. Mitchell, good morning.
Not a summer vacation.
Not a summer vacation.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Mitchell Cabrera with Public Works. Before your board this morning, requesting that you approve and adopt the resolution ordering the summary vacation of excess right-of-way or abandonment of an easement that exists. The county staff has received an application from Oscar Torres and Carolina Sevilla, along with the Kings River Hardwick School District for abandonment of this existing easement. The property owners own the property located directly behind the Kings River Hardwick School. And the school is currently in plans of expanding, but in order to do so, they requested that the county abandon that easement on the condition that the school will provide a new easement, granting access to the property owners to their house. So the county is asking that you abandon the 18-foot wide easement from Excelsior Avenue west of State Route 43. And then the school district will provide a new access easement on the west side of their school property. Public Works is requesting that your board adopt the resolution, and staff will record the resolution concurrently with the Kings River Hardwick School District's resolution. So at no point the property will be left without a access easement to their property. If you have any questions, happy to answer them.
Very good. Thank you. Questions, comments?
There's no
concerns?
question or comment. I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Moved by Verboen, seconded by Fagundes. Additional questions or comments? Mr. Zumwalt, anything you want to say? You're good? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboen,
Yes.
Craig Peterson,
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes. Let the record show that item stands approved, 5 in favor. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. You got something else? Yeah, you want to do the generators?
Yeah,
All you gotta do is turn them down.
If only.
Okay, consider rejecting all the previous bids submitted Central Services for the generator replacement project. You'd
Yes,
like to
so-
continue?
Yeah, so this second item is a request to reject the bids submitted on the generator replacement project for Central Services. On September 20th of this year, your board approves the bids request package, which authorized staff to advertise this construction project, which would replace two existing generators outside the Central Services building, or building number 5, that currently serves dispatch and IT. The bids were closed on October 21st of this year, and only 2 bids were received, and both of them were more than 3 times the amount of the allocated or originally expected bid amounts. So at this moment, Public Works and Building Maintenance are requesting that your board reject all the submitted bids. Staff will, in the meantime, look for new alternatives for replacing these 2 generators, rescope the project, and in the future, present before your board to re-advertise the project at a future date.
Very good, Mitch. Thank you. Discussion?
I'll move approval as presented.
Moved by Verboen,
Second.
seconded by Fagundes or Peterson. Yeah. Peterson, thank you very much. Additional discussion? Hearing or seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show that item stands approved, 5 in favor. Hey, have we priced out how much battery backup would cost there?
No, we're looking at different alternatives. I know Building Maintenance has worked with an electrical engineer to see different options.
Okay.
Propane, different electrical options, or these diesel power-rated generators.
Uh-huh.
So we're working on rescoping the project.
Okay. Yeah, I would think battery storage might be something to look at, and then we can always bring in a generator to keep the batteries up. But some of the batteries out there have some pretty good life to them.
Yeah, we'll definitely check it out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Next item comes from the Sheriff's Department. They really think there's going to be water this year.
Good morning, Mr.
Good
Chairman,
morning.
members of the board, Dave Putnam, Assistant Sheriff. And we come in front of your board as we do on a yearly basis to ask for your approval to participate in the Boating and Waterways Grant. So our recommendation would be to adopt a resolution authorizing participation in the Boating Safety and Enforcement Financial Aid Program and authorize Sheriff Robinson to sign the application for participation. So a little background, as you know, we come to your board every year for the past 20 years, roughly, at least, to participate in this program so that we can police and enforce activities on the Kings River and its tributaries. Like the chairman said, hopefully we're praying for water, and hopefully there's the opportunity for us to enforce usage of that water source. So the fiscal impact, obviously this will reduce the physical impact to the county because we will receive roughly $97,000 to cover our expenses and related items to to our Boating and Waterways program. These funds will reimburse the county for equipment purchases and repairs associated with patrolling the Kings River and its tributaries. And we would ask for your approval to apply for these funds and ask for Sheriff Robinson to sign that application.
Very good. Thank you. Discussion?
There's no question or comments. I'll make a motion to approve as presented and pray for rain.
Something for us to patrol and enforce, hopefully.
Yeah. Moved by Verboen,
Second.
seconded by Peterson. Thank you very much. Additional discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show that item stands approved, 5 in favor. The second item is an amendment to an agreement to a contract.
To the name that Mr. Hill dreads saying every week to.
Uh-huh.
Good morning again, Chairman and Board. Dave Putnam, Assistant Sheriff, again for item number 2 from the Sheriff's Office. So what we're requesting on this one is for the Sheriff's Office to sign an amendment with Praxis LLC retroactively effective September 1st of 2022 and extend through 2024. And just a quick background on Praxis is kind of the way that it's said. I know Mr. Hill's had a fun time spitting that out each week. But they manage our inmate calling system contracts. And for the longest time, they worked off of commission. And now with the changes to the PUC and the FCC, the Federal Communications and state and local regulations, the concept of them working off of a percentage doesn't work for their business model or our business model, quite frankly. So now it's going to be a flat rate fee, which will be covered out of the inmate welfare fund that is received through charging for these phone calls, these visitations, use of the tablets. There's entertainment, there's a wide variety of things the inmates can use on these tablets. And so basically, why we're changing the agreement is because the commission model based on how much we're allowed to charge has drastically changed since we initiated this contract in 2020. So our recommendation is that your board would authorize me to sign amendment number 1 to the agreement with Praxis LLC retroactively to September 1, 2022 and continue through 2024. County Council has reviewed this contract. They're amenable to the changes and to its form. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. I know this one's been pushed out. It's retro. I don't know all the reasons behind why it's taken so long to get to your board, but I'd be happy to try to answer any questions and ask for your approval.
Very good. Thank you. Questions?
Do we do retro, Craig?
Well,
I don't know, Rusty. What do you feel? Board says, oh,
no.
Can't take the comments back, huh?
I can't take the comments back, and we got to continue to let the inmates make calls and have visitation
Yeah.
and have access to the tablets and all that stuff that we're required to do by
Well,
state and
with
federal law.
Supervisor Peterson having lots of time on his hands, he may end up there, so.
I don't think that's
Approve,
gonna happen.
so he has access to the outside world.
I am not coming to bail him out. I will not.
I'll second that.
Moved by Verboen, seconded by Valley. Discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let that item stand approved. Thanks,
Thank you
Dave.
very much, and congratulations, Mr. Peterson, on your
Thank you.
pleasure working with you.
Same here.
Merry Christmas. Gary, you have the duty. You want to talk about the Paragon
Yes.
contract?
Good morning, board members. Kyria Martinez, administration. The county has legislative advocacy at the federal level, and to continue this relationship, a 4-year contract amendment with the current consultant Paragon Government Relations Incorporated through December 31st, 2026 is requested. The county entered a new agreement with Paragon on January 2022 and is currently active. This amendment would extend the contract with a term ending of December of 2026. The firm provides professional federal advocacy on the behalf of Kings County, which includes representation of the county's interests before Congress and federal agencies. The cost of the agreement next year would remain the same at $7,648 monthly through December 31st of through the following year. The following year after that, from January 1st, 2024 through December 31st of 2024, the amendment would increase by 2%. From January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, there would be no increase with a monthly rate of $7,167. And for the last year from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026, there would be a 2% increase at a monthly rate of $7,769 monthly. The contract cost is reflected in the administration budget. And I do have Joe from Paragon here if you would have any questions for him. At this time, we ask to approve the First Amendment with Paragon Government Relations Incorporated to provide federal legislative advocacy services for Kings County through December 31st, 2026.
Good, thank you. Discussion?
Well, we had a good discussion last week, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to Supervisor Valley's amendment. It's back this week and couldn't agree more. So with that, if there's no questions or comments, move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved by Peterson, seconded by Verboen. Any additional questions or comments? Hearing or seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley, Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show that item stands approved unanimous by members present. Thank you very much. Next item, consider an agreement for financial services to redo the building impact fees. Tom, good morning. Merry
Sir, good
Christmas.
morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Domingo Cruz, one of your administrative analysts at the administrative office. So this morning, staff requests that your board approve an agreement with Wilden Financial Services to provide the county with the required development and building facilities impact fee study and adopt the budget change. So the Mitigation Fee Act, Government Code 66000, provides the use of impact fees, also known as public facility fees. So to offset the impact or growth on government facilities. So the facilities that we're talking about are the public protection, fire, library, animal control, and shared patrol and investigation. So to continue collecting the fees at the building permit stage of development, a development and building facilities impact fee study is required every 10 years. But since then, Assembly Bill 602 took effect on January 1st, 2022, which now requires the study to be every 8 years. So the last study that was conducted was in 2015, and the updated fees were implemented in early 2016. If your board recalled during the public hearing on August 9th, 2022, to update and recommend increase in the impact fees, you directed staff then to not increase the fees and to also conduct an impact fee justification study. That's why I'm in front of you today. So a request for proposal process was completed from October 2022 to November 2022. There were 3 submissions that were received. We have a committee of staff from Community Development Agency, Job Training Office, Economic Development Corporation, and Public Works. They have selected Weldon Financial Services to perform the development and building facilities impact fee study. So the total amount of the agreement is $59,265. It will be funded from the Public Facility Administration, Budget Unit 187306, account 92037, Professional Special Services. The Public Facility Fee, the Administration, the Trust Fund 2000-026, account 1000. That's the cash and treasury that we have right now. Will provide $24,000. And the contingencies for General Budget Unit 990000, account 99000, which is the appropriation for contingency in the amount of $35,265. The duration of the study is about 6 months from your approval of this agreement to on or about June 30, 2023. That concludes my presentation, and we'll be glad to answer any question that you may have. And also, Mr. James Edison from Weldon Financial Services is online, and he would like to make a statement and to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. As Dom indicated, I'm James Edison. Good morning, board members from Weldon Financial Services. I just briefly were pleased and honored to be selected by staff to do this work. We do it all over the state. Anytime we're probably doing about 12 programs. We work just about everywhere, and we're happy to help to update the fees, both in terms of the sort of requirements of every, what used to be 5 years, now 8 years, but also now AB 602 has introduced some additional requirements, and we'll work with the county to make sure those are all followed. And your fee program is up to date and fully justified. Look forward to working with you, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thanks so much.
Very good. Thank you. Questions or comments?
If there's no question or comments, I'll move it presented. Second.
Moved by Verboen, seconded by Fagundes. Discussion? Here, seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Let the record show that item stands approved, 5 in favor. Thank you very much. Melissa, you have the duty on talking about the agreement with Kings County Commission on Aging.
Yes, good morning, Chairman and members of the board. Melissa Shuffle, Administrative Analyst, Administration. During the October 4th, 2022 board meeting, the Executive Director of Services at the Commission on Aging asked during public comment to use the American Rescue Plan Act funding, ARPA, in the amount of $150,000 to help with the food costs associated with reopening the senior centers. The board directed administration to work with the Executive Director of Services at the Commission on Aging and bring back an agenda item at a later date. The Senior Nutrition Program provides meals to impacted and at-risk community. The program provides safe delivery of meals to isolated seniors who may be homebound by disability or quarantine, and provides meals and socialization to seniors who are more mobile, able to attend congregate meal settings. The program supports mitigation efforts such as access to information and assistance to complementary services, such as vaccination opportunities and other community-based resources. This project is to support and augment the existing senior nutrition program. The senior nutrition program's service populations who have been identified as impacted households and communities, including low or moderate income households and households that experience increased food or housing insecurity. The COVID-19 pandemic created increase in the demands for senior nutrition services. The need and demand for these services has remained consistent throughout the pandemic. Also, due to the heavy regulations imposed by the Older American Act, Commission on Aging is unable to provide flexibility within their programs. Commission on Aging has been distributing frozen meals for the last 2.5 years due to the pandemic, and the seniors are requesting the nutrition sites reopen. At this time, Avenal and Corcoran locations have reopened, and Hanford is planning to hopefully open on sometime in January. Senior centers provide both socialization and physical activity and are extremely important for the overall well-being of our older adult population. Long-term, the services provided at the senior sites help to prevent hospitalizations and the need for high-cost caregiver services and the placement in skilled nursing facilities. The proposed budget includes the funds will be spent on purchasing food, supplies, and personal protective equipment for the Avenal, Corcoran, Hanford locations. These funds must be used within 1 year from the date of this agreement. There is no county impact to the general fund. The agreement amount for the Commission on Aging is for $150,000 with the funding coming from the county's ARPA allocation budget unit 110910. This agreement has been reviewed and approved by County Council to form. And at this time, if you have no additional questions, I respectfully request you to authorize the County Administrative Officer to sign the agreement with the Kings County Commission on Aging for American Rescue Fund Act.
Thank you, Melissa. Bobby, would you like to say anything on behalf of the Commission on Aging?
Not really, but I will. Good morning, everyone. I would like to first of all start off by thanking Mr. Peterson, Supervisor Peterson, for all of his support, helping me stay out of trouble over in Armona when the complaints came. So I'm thankful for that. And we have opened 2 of the centers, one in Avenel and Corcoran. Corcoran, there's about 50 to 60 people showing up per day for lunch. Meals are being prepared on site at those 2 centers. Hanford will be a little bit different because there's not a kitchen to cook in, but we'll get it figured out. I'm just waiting for them to do a contract. The reason I haven't opened 9th and a quarter. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all the support and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you, Bobby. Discussion?
Mr. Chair, what about Lemoore and Armona? Are they just not gonna reopen, or do they have a target date so they can get some of this money, or?
Lemoore, it hasn't been a part of the nutrition program for Kings County.
Okay.
So in the past, they have not wanted to abide by the rules for the Older Americans Act funds. And I think I said enough there.
And they've been open.
And they've been open.
And they've been serving meals.
I think they probably be charged for their meals and we're not allowed to charge for our meals using the Old Americans funds.
Yeah.
I don't,
Move for approvals.
I'll second that.
Moved by Fagundes, seconded by Verboen. Discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes. Let the record show that item sends proof. 5 in favor. Thank you very much. Good luck and Merry Christmas. The next couple of items come from Public Health. Corrado.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Supervisors. Everardo Legaspi with the Department of Public Health. I'm here today with an item from our Public Health Emergency Preparedness Program. The California Department of Public Health has allocated a total of $2,255,933 for a 5-year period, beginning fiscal year 2022-23 and ending fiscal year 2026-27. For the current 2022-23 fiscal year, $395,727 has been budgeted for 3 grants. Public Health Emergency Preparedness, FEP grant at $189,175. The State General Fund Pandemic Influenza, PanFlu grant at $141,527. And the Hospital Preparedness Program, HPP grant at $62,025. The three grants are utilized to develop and maintain public health disaster preparedness, which includes planning for public health emergency and disaster response, response in a pandemic and disaster planning, and response for hospitals and local healthcare facilities in Kings County. Kings County has received funding for public health and bioterrorism preparedness through the California Department of Public Health since 2002. The Public Health Emergency Preparedness and Hospital Preparedness Program funds are from federal allocations that are dispersed through the state of California to local health jurisdictions to carry out the local responsibilities. The pandemic influenza allocation is from the California State General Fund. Funds are utilized for allowed personnel costs related to carrying out the annual scope of work objectives for these programs, which includes development of response plans, trainings, drills, exercises, and purchasing of authorized equipment to improve public health and healthcare preparedness and response. The agreement and approved budget for this comprehensive 5-year agreement was received from the California Department of Public Health Emergency Preparedness Office on October 13th, 2022, in which it went through the internal county review process with approval by County Council. I respectfully request your board's approval of the comprehensive agreement with the California Department of Public Health for the Public Health Emergency Preparedness, Hospital Preparedness, and Pandemic Influenza grants retroactively effective from July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2027. This action results in a budget adjustment for fiscal year 2022-23. The remaining year's allocations will be included in their respective budgets. And I am available to try to answer any questions.
Very good. Appreciate that. Any questions or comments? So moved. Moved by Fagundes,
Second.
seconded by Verboen. Thank you very much. Discussion?
Everybody got the flu shot, right?
Well, you got a shot. I don't know if it, yeah. Get a shot of what?
Flu.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboen.
Yes.
Craig Peterson.
Aye.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Let the record show that item stands approved. Do you still have flu shots available as well as, what's the other one? Shingles? You have shingles available too? So
We definitely have flu. I'm not 100% sure about.
on the shingles?
We do.
So,
And I
and
did
the,
mine in September, October. So you gotta wait like 6 or 8 weeks between the two.
between the two,
Because I'm getting older
I noticed,
and the stress of the board.
I noticed.
Stress will get you, yeah.
It's a tough crowd. Merry Christmas. Yeah. I hope you use that secondhand needle on that, somebody.
I go first thing in the morning, I get a fresh one.
No, those are left over from the night before. That, Mr. Hill did that, yeah. He thought everybody would come in, so yeah, so he holds them over for a full 24 hours.
I even got my 3rd booster last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
And you still got a cough.
Yeah.
Something didn't work. Thank you. Merry Christmas. You want to finish up with you going to give the update on COVID?
I'm doing my best, yeah.
All right.
So I'm here today to provide a COVID seasonal influenza, RSV, and Mpox update. So as far as the COVID case numbers, despite some weekly fluctuations, the number of COVID cases have increased steadily since the last report on November 29th, 2022. Since that date, there have been a total of 837 additional positive cases. As far as hospitalizations, they have increased since the last report. There are currently 7 hospitalized cases, 5 are Kings County residents, 4 are in med-surg, and 1 is in the ICU. The daily patient average for the past 4 weeks has been 7.3. As far as testing continues in the county at various locations and at the Public Health Department. In the last 4 weeks, there have been a total of 679 tests done at the Kings County Department of Public Health and a total of 11,111 tests completed in the county for that same 4-week period, which averages to about 2,778 tests per week, with an average of 12.6% positivity. We continue to hand out rapid antigen test kits to residents, businesses, and various agencies who work with the public. The public can also obtain these test kits from local pharmacies, and a total of 102,092 rapid tests have been given to residents of Kings County from the county allocation, which is 48,148 packages. As far as vaccines, over the last 4 weeks, 2,403 vaccines were given in Kings County. This has remained pretty steady, and the Kings County Department of Public Health in the past 4 weeks provided 628 vaccines. Residents can still get vaccines at the health department, local pharmacies, and several pop-up clinics around the county. And the current schedule is on our website. We also have a link to Test to Treat where people can test, and if testing positive, they can also sign up for treatments for the antivirals. As always, we would like to remind everyone to stay home when you're sick, get tested if experiencing COVID-like symptoms, and get vaccinated and/or boosted if you have not yet. Masks are still required in healthcare settings, clinics, skilled nursing facilities, and areas of shelter and correctional settings in which healthcare is being provided. As far as influenza, in the last 4 weeks, we've had 1,383 cases of influenza A. This has been increasing, and the last 2 weeks, there was a drop and then another increase recently. Overall, influenza activity remains elevated throughout the county and the state, and now is still a good time to get your flu shot to protect yourself, especially with the holidays and all the events going on. For RSV, activity is decreasing in California. Test positivity across Sentinel labs in California has decreased for the 4th consecutive week and is at a rate of 8.2%. RSV is very serious respiratory illness in children, especially infants younger than 6 months old. And regional hospitals have seen an increase in ER visits related to respiratory illnesses. Locally in Kings County, hospital ERs are busy, but not indicated a surge beyond the usual. As far as Mpox, there have been no changes since the last report. There's still 3 cases that have been confirmed in Kings County, same as 1 more since the last report. There are 148 cases among counties in the Central Valley, 5 more since the previous report. In California, there has been a total of 5,572 probable and confirmed cases. And the outbreak continues to decline. The 7-day average of cases in California is 1.9 cases per day compared to 96.4 cases per day at the height of the outbreak in early August. Vaccine supply is no longer an issue. It is important time for risk populations to get vaccinated if they haven't already. And as far as West Nile virus, the totals for 2022 were 7 cases. Neuroinvasive invasive totals were 6. There were 2 deaths in Kings County and then 1 non-neuroinvasive case.
Very good. Thank you. Any additional questions, comments, concerns? Wash your hands. Stay home if you're sick. Cough into your sleeve. All good advice. So thank you very much. Stay healthy. All right, that concludes all the business of today. We'll now move to board member announcements. Supervisor Peterson.
Oh, boy.
The day you've been waiting for.
Well, yeah, it's been a quick 8 years, I tell you.
Feels like 20.
Yeah. I know.
I'll move over here.
Yeah. No, just a few lasts. So we had our last Air District meeting last Thursday. Kind of on the, big on the agenda was approval of more funding for battery-powered yard equipment. Significant money there now, so residents that have gas-burning vehicles, if you want to switch to batteries, their district has funds for you, as well as any commercial operators within the district. You are more than welcome to apply for that funding. Kind of the big agenda on the item was the 2015 8-hour ozone standard. Under the Clean Air Act, we are required to show a plan to how we're going to meet that standard. And we approved that application to EPA to approve our standard. It was supported by CARB, and now it's always what's the good word? We have to send it to federal EPA for approval, and it's been challenging with many of our plans. A lot of public sentiment, a lot of support, and some that always have concerns, and that's good. We want to listen to our communities and make sure we do the right thing. So on to kind of this is the last meeting, obviously. Want to thank the people of District 4 for allowing me to serve in capacity for the last 8 years. Been amazing. A lot of leadership that has rolled through over the last 8 years. People that were really helpful. Obviously, Larry Spikes, guys served forever, and his knowledge was really helpful. I don't think I could have, Rusty, you'll find this out that you're going to be drinking through your fire hose for a while. All of the different boards and commissions that you're going to sit on. I think, what is there, 68 different boards and commissions that we split up and serve on here. And so there's going to be a lot of information overflow. Good luck with that. But again, Larry was really helpful in helping me digest what our responsibilities are and the crazy ass laws that exist here in California with just realignment for one, triple flip, and it's crazy what you're going to have to learn. Then obviously Rebecca stepping up when Larry had his health issues, and now Ed Hill, and thank you all for your dedicated leadership. To our staff, man, we sit up here every week and make decisions on funding, but you all do the work, and the people of Kings County owe you a huge debt of gratitude. I think about our public safety guys and, things that we've accomplished together over the last 8 years. The two-man fire station issue, finally getting that approved, getting many of our stations in Kings County, we're still one man, single man. I can't imagine, rolling out on a car wreck where one person is going to have to, take control of the scene and communicate with whoever, and then still help the person when they arrive. So it was really, really, I think, an important step for Kings County, and just the things that our public safety guys do every day. Just amazing, especially in this environment. You look what we've come through this pandemic, all of the upheaval that occurred. I know you guys were sent to Oakland and other places to help. And, we're just so fortunate that, our county is still somewhat reasonable in its approach to life. And I just can't imagine, public safety members' service life in a big city today. It's just become untenable. Thinking about the tough things that we've done here, the things that we do on a regular basis. But, you know, I think we've replaced nearly every department head over the last 8 years. A few still have not been replaced, and thank God they're still here. But, you know, that's always challenging. You get comfortable with those people in leadership positions, and, you know, they leave. And, you know, the pandemic, man, that's to sit in these chairs and have to make the decisions that we have to make. And boy, you know, we're you know, living in a pretty liberal state, and all the mandates that they sent down and trying to match those up with the identity of Kings County was a challenge. But you know, I think we worked together to get that accomplished. You know, we we took the message of Kings County to anyone that will listen. You know, wherever, whenever. It was, you know, thank the board for the opportunity to, and Doug, who held the CSAC seat, you know, through CSAC. You know, it's challenging. There's a lot of big jurisdictions there, and your voice sometimes, especially in a rural setting, is tough to move forward. It took me 8 years, but I finally got water on the docket at CSAC, which is just amazing to me that, you know, something as important to every human being hasn't been an issue. And it's one of those issues, as you know, many of us know, that nobody wants to touch because it's hot and it burns, but you can't stick your head in the sand. You know, last couple meetings with respect to our water ordinance, they're the toughest issues that we're going to deal with, but they're also the most important. And you know, it's an honor. The National Association of Counties also, you know, took our message there, was provided the opportunity to chair the Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee there for 2 years. So many high-level meetings with EPA and USDA, and you always got to sneak your message in with that opportunity. And so we always did that for Kings County. Same with the Air District. You know, we work hard to make sure that, you know, the air we breathe is reasonable. And you know, over the last 30 years of the existence of the Air Board, we've improved air quality by 80% in the district. You know, there was a time when you couldn't see from mountain range to mountain range, and that is back. Not every day, but it is back. But the challenges of you know, fires in this state are you know, a big challenge as well in meeting some of our air quality standards. We'll go back for a second to the pandemic, and Ed Hill, thank you. I don't know how you did it. I know you were frustrated. We were frustrated. You were caught in between the state, us, and all of our community members. And I knew then, you know, you're the right guy for this CAO job, because you did it with professionalism. Sorry.
You may get that bourbon.
Yeah, that's what we need to do, right? Catherine, our clerk, thank you. Same sentiment here. We walk in the door and we're rookies, and it's like everything is new. And it's like, no, you can't do that. You can do this. You can't do that. You can do this. You can go here, but you can't go there. And you know, so many of our colleagues in the larger jurisdictions, they drag around staff, and for me, I never wanted staff. It's just, it would have been another job. We have 1,600 employees here, and all of our department heads, and I think you guys all accomplished all that. But it was certainly a pleasure to work with you, Catherine. You know, you got us where we needed to go when we needed to be there, and now Diane will help with that, welcome. Again, back to, just the daily operations of the county. I look at our administrative staff, and it's always the goal to, have a great staff and, do it in a way that's professional and, is beyond reproach in the community. And Ed, Curia, thank you. Your staff, all the department heads in the county, do an amazing job. I guess finally, to my colleagues. Some days it's been a real shit show. And most days it's been, really good. But when you think about the 5 people that sit up here, we all come from different backgrounds. When you look in the audience, not one person has had the same life experience. And that's the way it is up here. The fortunate thing is there's only 5 of us, so it's a bit confined to how we can work through the process of making sure that we do the right thing. And so thank you all. We've had many spirited discussions.
Made you look good.
And we had many laughs and it's been 8 years has went by so quickly. So I know I've left out probably a whole bunch of people, but I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Good job. Thank you. Supervisor Baboon, do you have a presentation and then a report on your own?
Yeah, I do. Nothing to report. I had a quiet week, had to go to another state and take care of stuff. But for Supervisor Peterson, I want to thank you. It's an honor to work beside you. And we share a lot of history, a lot of what we can't talk about. But it's really cool to sit beside someone that you think just like, and you grew up together doing the same thing, and you have the same passion for the community. It means a lot. I didn't never have to explain anything to you unless you voted the wrong direction, but that's fine. I mean, we still got along, even though we didn't always agree. You had your ideas, I had my ideas, and it shows the balance of the board. It's because we think alike and do the same thing and live in the same community. We always have a different direction, but the same thing is we always have the best for the people in the community at heart. And thank you for your 8 years of service. It means a lot. We made an impact, just to have two country boys with white hair get the president's attention. You got his attention by your look because he got a little crush on you, but whatever. We got our point across.
Well, and I'll just tell Rusty or whoever's sitting next to him, if the president calls on you and he's sitting next to you, when you stand up, you move 2 chairs over, because otherwise you're going to get hit in the ribs and say, hey, give me the microphone when you're done.
But we made a name for the county. We were recognized. I mean, that was a worldwide event that people saw us. And it's good to bring that attention to light. That helped with the water, I believe. I think it got attention to CSAC because they were in the room. And they realized how important that was, because that conversation continued till today. And I was on myself at CSAC trying to bring water to the forefront. I was by myself. Like I said, I was frustrated. You came in, you got it to the forefront by getting on executive committee, which you needed to do. And I appreciate that, but thank you. I'll try to carry that voice forward in my own way.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'll have Rusty to back me up. He carried my books for me. No, it's really cool. I mean, you don't understand. People understand how important it is. I mean, so I've known Craig since we were probably 17, 18 years old. He grew up on one side of town. We didn't really know each other at a younger age. We came together. He ran for office years ago, didn't get it. I was already on the school board. It was kind of cool to be both together. It means a lot. I mean, I know Richard and Joe, and we all have different agendas, but it's nice to know, I know what you're going to say before you say it. And that really makes it easy to get things done. So when we go to DC or Sacramento, it was kind of nice to know where each other's at. If you were in a room talking about something, I knew that I could walk in at any point and join in without being out on the wrong page. So thank you. And we got you a little something here. I should have had it sooner because I needed a hammer to keep you in line. But on behalf of the Kings County Board of Supervisors, we got you a little plaque here. And it has, for presented to Craig Peterson for your dedication and service for the County of Kings. Chairman, 2017 and 2021, Board of Supervisors, 2015, 2022.
Hey.
I could probably take this.
Yeah.
Break nuts.
Wait, we do this.
That's nice. That's nice.
You want to go in a well? And Ed Hill made the plaque here for Craig.
Oh, yeah, Ed made that blue one.
A long walk for Richard.
Right.
Handmade. One of a kind, guaranteed to be a pound there.
You know, I think something in between the Will Richards. You know, I seen something here today that honors you. I seen Supervisor Valley, pull out a hanky and wipe it here. To you, huh? Gauge you for beauty, is that what you're doing? I'll be closest to the door. You got the hammer.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Supervisor Valley.
Yes, as I do respect Sue Peterson, but I was wiping away some crud. I'm sick right now. If it wouldn't have been for Sue Peterson's last day, I would have stayed home today, but I didn't want to miss this, sir. And also, as you can see, in honor of Sue Peterson's last day, I dyed my hair gray.
That's natural.
But it's been a pleasure to serve with you, sir. Thank you, obviously, for all of your service to the County Kings, but I also want to take the opportunity to thank you for you've cast some supportive votes for some projects in my districts. Whenever you see curb, gutter, and sidewalk in Kettleman City, because I know once in a while you're going to go cruise through the neighborhood over there, and you'll know that you had a big part in that too. So I do appreciate your support over the years. We did get some good work done, and sorry for some of the shit shows. Catherine was putting together a highlight reel of some of our battles. But no, really, it was a pleasure and honor. Thank you. Thanks, Supervisor Peterson.
Thank you. Supervisor Fagundes.
Craig, it's been an honor to work with you. And I wish you all the luck in the world, future travels or whatever you want to do. And haven't always agreed with you, but we've always worked together and it's been good. And thank you so much for the efforts that you've given all this county. And sometimes it's endless, but you've done it. Thank you so much. And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and hopefully another wonderful year without any sickness. Where's the health guy?
Yeah. Alvarado.
He didn't feel well today.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much.
Very good. I too want to thank you, Craig. Appreciate it. You know, I remember seeing your grandpa and your dad out, you know, I'd be out there hauling cottonseed and your dad'd be hauling cotton and trash and he just grabbed them trailers and pull them together. And I, gee, what a strong guy. And, you know, and so, you know, 3 generations of families, certainly, in the county, and certainly appreciate your time here and everything, all of the hours and all the travel. And certainly appreciate you being here. And good luck in retirement.
I forgot one thing.
Okay, you want to go back?
I have failed.
You failed again?
No, I failed, yeah. When Fire Chief Lynch retired the first time, I got a list from his wife. And I was able to read off all the projects he's supposed to do. I have not done that yet, so I'll have to work on something for this afternoon. So Craig has his direction of travels
Is
the next couple of years.
just don't be putting it in an ordinance because
Yeah, well, we can.
I can
do that.
avoid some things, but the ordinance makes it legal and I don't.
And binding.
It's gonna be legal when your wife gets it. I know that.
For me, continue doing Santa visits through all the schools, daycare centers, community events in the county. We're going to hit the rehab on a couple of daycares or long-term cares this week. We will be masked up and we will wash our hands hopefully once or twice. But we'll continue to do that right up until the day after Christmas. So we're booked up pretty good. Was able to announce the basketball game at West Hills College on Saturday. Both teams now are on Christmas break and they'll return in January. Continue to conduct interviews for the South Fork Kings groundwater management, sustainable groundwater agency. We have 3 candidates. We continue to interview. And hopefully, I wish I could tell you that it's close, but with the holidays, it's probably going to be in January before those, before there's a selection of those 3 applicants. And then yesterday, the Kings County Homeless Committee was not able to meet due to not establishing a quorum. We did talk about some of the issues of the day in an informal setting with no action taken. So with that, that concludes my activities. Mr. Hill, you want to talk about board correspondence, upcoming events, and future agenda items?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. For board correspondence, there was none this week. For upcoming events, the Hanford Winter Wonderland is still occurring in Hanford Civic Park through January 8th. It's open Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and Saturday, Sunday from noon to 9:30 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online. There's an ice rink, photos with Santa, food, and live music. The first New Year's Eve masquerade ball will take place on December 31st at 8 p.m. at the Civic Auditorium. The evening will include hors d'oeuvres, champagne toast at midnight, Magic of Elder, and live music by the Valley Cats. Tickets are $100. The Tachi Palace will be hosting their New Year's Eve party on December 31st at 8:30 p.m. There will be live music by Arena and a magic show. Tickets are $80 in advance and $100 at the door. The following items are on the agenda for January 3rd. Administration has consideration to set the salary for the district attorney. The Department of Finance has consideration of agreement with MGT of America Incorporated for consulting services on state mandated claims. And IT has consideration for an agreement for multi-factor authentication and single sign-on with OKTA and Technics. That concludes that. It's going to be a very busy agenda next week, as you can tell. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Supervisor Peterson for all of his work and service to the constituents of Kings County and to the board and to the department heads and the county staff. It's been a good 8 years for you, I understand. I only had to deal with 5 of them, but I appreciate it. I appreciate your guidance, your mentorship, and all the work that you do. I'd like to also thank Supervisor Verboen for when I became the CAO. You guys showed me the ropes at CSAC and at NACO. I know that as a department head, we know the board or the department heads know that you guys are on these committees, but until you tag along and see how much work they are, it really shows your dedication to the county as well as the department heads and all of the things that we do. I'd also like to, I'm not sure I'm ready to thank you for recommending me and pushing me for the CAO position yet. The jury's still out, but I can get even with you later on. But once again, thank you.
And you want to talk about your plaque you made?
Sure.
You whittled that out with a pocket knife.
Yeah. As many of you may know, I do a lot of woodworking. That was a fun project to take on. I did it Saturday, so that's why it's a little wonky. I'm just kidding. It's not wonky, but it's walnut, naturally finished. I don't believe in staining and all of that good stuff. It's going to be a great decoration for your house. I couldn't find where the center is, so you have to guess on hanging it. So, but it was a fun project to do.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Hill? Hearing none, the board will be moving into closed session to take up 2 items, a significant exposure litigation and a personnel matter. Any reporting out on those 2 items will occur in January of 2023. The board will be adjourning out of closed session. I want to remind you of the oaths of office that will take place at 12 o'clock in these chambers. And we wish everyone, to be able to invite you to come back and participate in that. I too want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and take a wonderful week off. Stay home if you're sick, wash your hands, and stay healthy. With that, thank you very much, everyone.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
one last thing.
yes,
Peterson, out.
out. No, you still got closed session.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah,
Out of the chamber.
you're not out yet. You got responsibilities. Thank you for being here. The date is December 20th, 2022. The time is a little after 1 o'clock, excuse me, a little after 12 o'clock. And we want to welcome you to the swearing in. We want to congratulate everyone that's getting sworn in today. And we're going to begin the swearing in process with the Kings County Assessor Clerk Recorder.
And this is Mike.
You got down by the flag.
Mike on.
Yeah.
Can you all hear me? Okay. One, I guess, preliminary word, there's a reason why we swear in our elected officials. And that is to impart to them solemnity of the occasion. And,
Sorry, Judge.
and the importance of listening and paying attention. No, this, for a lot of these folks, they've done this a few times before, and it can almost seem rote and routine, but it shouldn't be, and it isn't, because the people of the state of California, the people of this county have elected these folks to serve the county. And this oath binds them to that promise that they gave to the electorate to serve. I took that oath. It's a promise by the elected to serve those that elected them. And that's why we do this. And if I mess up on the word, full start.
Thank you.
And Ms. Lee, if you'll repeat after me, I state your name. Do you solemnly swear or affirm
Solemnly swear or affirm
that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of
California against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that you will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the State of California.
and that you take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And just for clarification, all the electeds that are being sworn in, if you can wait till after everyone has been sworn in, and then you and the judge can sign each of those oaths. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Supervisor Neves, are you the first?
Ooh, got a copy of that oath I can read?
I should have done this for Chrissy, but that was a test.
This will help.
All right, raise your right hand, and I state your name.
I, Joe Neves,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the State of California,
that you take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter.
and that I will and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Thank you. Congratulations. Supervisor Verboen,
Joe. Thanks.
you ready? Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Doug Verboen,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that you will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the State of California,
that you take this obligation freely
obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you're about to enter.
and will well and faithfully discharge the duties I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And Supervisor Robinson? Supervisor Robinson?
Rusty.
This your first time?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's okay to be nervous. I state your name.
I, Rusty Robbins,
Do you solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the State of California,
that you take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
and without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you're about to enter.
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Hey, you're done. You're ours now, man.
As of January 2nd.
Ain't no going back now.
That's under the heading, be careful what you ask for.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Hacker? Soon to be the Honorable.
Well, that before.
Let's do that. And raise your right hand, please. Why don't you step right there? There we go. I state your name.
I, Sarah Melissa Hacker,
Do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the State of California,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the State of California.
that you take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you're about to enter.
I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations. Oh, no, I'm not in charge of. Keep that. Ladies and gentlemen, that takes, I guess, my part in this procedure. Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure and a privilege to actually introduce these folks to the duties about to which they're going to enter upon. A lot of this is difficult work that they do. They make a lot of tough decisions. So if you're religious, pray for them. If you're not, speak kindly of them and wish them all the best of luck in their positions. So Congratulations.
Down in the well and have
Hey,
it
are
signed.
you doing?
We just need to have them all signed.
The signing table.
We just got to sign?
Yeah, we can use that signing table there.
You still have to put your John Hancock on there.
And then if anyone would like to take pictures of any of the elected officials like to take pictures with their families, you can do so in the well once the signing is done. It would be helpful to have them on.
Right here. Yeah. Blue. I'll need that back. That's black. You don't want that one. Is it? Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Mine's better.
This is better. You're done.
Got to read it to him. You're not underneath mine.
Oh, thanks. And it's upside down. How am I supposed to find it upside down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Yeah, it'd be great to meet the judge. Imagine if you would go and find after you went. He didn't think it was.
A digital recording. Or sends it to life.
Crazy, huh?
More than $2.
I wonder how you carry that. How do you carry that inside? Like, how do you ship it?
What that? He's trying to procure it if we don't want it.
I think you'd have to get a new computer.
Okay.
This doesn't come around the corner, I think.
Someone says.
It's Mrs. Claus that counts in that case.
Like a name, he's still charged.
He does all the work. Should be in charge.
Well, 40 acres.
Yep. Taking more runs, on like itinerary. That would be something good.
Discussion about one business.
That way they're. Okay, good. I'll make sure that all of you. You are photo worthy.
Yeah. $5.
Yes.
I would have recovered it. Thank you.
I get a tracker on that.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.